Chris.
Hi, Eric. Can you fill us in the game, please, first of all, and most of all, that winning goal at the end there, the fact that there were so many players in the box, you didn't pick up the 2 or 3 Brighton players at the back post.
And we didn't stop the cross. There were 3 players, a right-footed player, and sent him offside, sent him down the line, sent him wide, instead of let him come in and allow the cross.
How does that happen? I mean, given you've got some good players out there, how do they not sense that danger?
We have, of course, we have to talk about this, how we act in that situation as a team, and so there were more than one mistake in that occasion, and has a big impact on the score.
Eric, how frustrating is it to go into another new season, but once again conceding those late stoppage time winners?
That's very disappointed, yeah. Because also in the Community Shield we concede just before time, we concede a goal. So we should be more clinical in such situations, read the game, take the point if you can't win anymore. And I think we were close to win this game, but then definitely don't lose the game.
Is that game management, and is that disappointing for you, given you've been saying the similar things almost throughout the time you've been Manchester United?
No, I don't. I think we also often we did the right things, Simon, and that we had success. For example, when we win the trophies, and when many other also big games, we take the points. But yeah, in this occasion, today we should have do better. Community Shield, we should have do better.
It's inconsistent though. It's not at the same level.
But I think that is a view from you. And in many occasions we have done very good in such situations where we brought the score over the line and take the result.
Sam.
What was your take on the goal that was disallowed? It was just Xerxes' misfortune that he was in the wrong place.
Yeah, of course we can bring this goal back and going to explain this in detail, and what should happen or what has happened. Most important is we have an overload. We outplay the overload very good, and then it's about bring the final pass, bring the players in the right positions, get the right finish. I think everything we did well there, and I think it's, as you describe it, very misfortune.
Were there parts of the performance you were pleased with? Because, as you say, it was quite a good counter-attacking performance.
Not only in counter-attacking, but I think also in build-up and in possession, also in how we defend. I think I've seen some good parts. Also, there were parts in the game, especially second part from the second half. We should take and keep more control in the game. But I think there were very good parts in this game, and so I've seen a lot of positives from the performance. But we have to build up in both boxes. We have to be more clinical there. We have to be more aggressive.
How much more of an improvement do you want from your team ahead of the Liverpool game?
Yeah, but then I have to repeat myself.
And what did you think of Brighton's first goal? Should Harry have cut it out, or was it a bit too difficult?
I think we are always looking for individuals who we have to blame. I think in both goals are very soft goals we concede, and as a team we should have done better. That's for sure.
Was Mason Mount's substitution enforced or tactical?
It was forced. He gave an issue. He mentioned the issue, and then I didn't want to take the risk with him.
That must be disappointing for him, because he seemed to have a particularly good performance in the first half.
Absolutely, but So I don't know how much worry it is. I can't say you in this moment, but maybe it's nothing. But I think when we have then a good bench and you can bring Sirkzee, I think then don't hesitate and bring him off, and then you bring a player who have an impact. And I think we have seen second half that Josh he played a good game.
Last one, Bigwell.
You went with the same team twice in a row now. Before, I suppose, Brighton's late goal, does the way you played an attack in the last half hour, does that maybe influence your thinking for the next match?
Again?
You've gone the same team 2 games in a row.
No.
Well, in terms of its lineup, do you expect changes for Liverpool?
Oh, that is for... we have a squad. From the squad we will pick the best team. And in the approach we have the starters, we have the finishes. I think also today, I think the finishes had good impact. When Kana scores this goal, very good to bank. I think Scott is doing well. Sirkzee had an impact. Matthijs de Ligt, they all did good. But we need more than 11 players to be successful.
Okay, thank you.
Spot inside the Amex, and Danny Welbeck giving Brighton the lead against his former club. It had to be him, Rio, didn't it? But what are your thoughts on the way Manchester United dealt with that defensively?
I mean, first and foremost, Man United have defended up the pitch very, very well today. But here, I think there's a couple of things that you have to look at. First of all, it's a great ball that he puts in. Really ask questions of the defenders, but they don't deal with it. And Danny Welbeck does what he does best. He's sniffing about there. But here, if you look at it closer, Harry Maguire's in there. I think he's in a really good position initially. But once that ball's then going to be put into that area, he has to defend that front area. He motions backwards instead of going towards the ball. And I understand the reason why, because it's wet, the conditions. He's worried about hitting the ball into his own goal. But you've got to go there and own that situation and clear your lines early. That's why you do reps and reps and reps of them crosses coming in normally for them situations there.
I think they're also, from another defensive point, there has to be pressure on the ball.
Yeah.
You cannot take a touch in the Premier League, have a look up and then whip a ball in. That wasn't good enough also.
What did you think of Manchester United before that, Joe? Because they could have been ahead, or at least should have hit the target with Ahmad.
I thought they were very, very good. I thought the pressing was good. Mason, Mount and Fernandes looking like they were linking up well. They was getting in behind. This ball in particular from Onana, this was hurting Brighton. This is a lovely ball. That is just whipped. And it slows down, it takes a bit of pace off. I don't understand why he doesn't go with the diving header. It's there to be... I do understand, I've been there. It's in that no man's land where it's just not quite there. Always go with the easiest technique, which in that position is just a diving header, throw your body out, keep your shoulders facing the goal, and United would have been 1-up.
Dalot being a bright spark, that was some ball in.
Yeah, that was one moment. I thought it was a magnificent ball on his weaker side. But I think Man United, I think there are positives. Yes, they are 1-0 down. I don't think Brighton have actually had to do much to get in a lead in this game. I think Man United have been the more aggressive team, definitely, especially from restarts. But Brighton have found a way. As I said, they've got someone who, at the top of the pitch, an out-and-out number 9 who wants to get on the end of things. And today, Danny Welbeck has done that in the first half.
Well, Brighton...
It's been 5 substitutions, man. You've got to deal with it. You need to be leaders talking. First of all, they don't deal with the first bit here. Comes out Anthony. He has to be better. He has to deal with that. And in the secondary situations, a lovely ball in, floating in. But there's no one there with their body shape in the right position, and it's 3 of them queuing up at the far post. From Manchester United's perspective, you'd be furious here, wouldn't you?
He has to smash him there. He has to go through that and take everything, Anthony, there. It's a powder puff tackle which allows you to get this moment.
Look.
But this is the second phase Joe's talking about. You work on this a lot. You work on the first phase, the first corner. It goes out, recycles. Then it's about let's reposition and get ourselves in order. Man United do not do that.
Do you know what we saw at half-time when they was bringing on a substitution, going through on the iPad?
Yeah,
you need to be
tactics.
but sometimes at a football game, especially nowadays when there's 5 subs been made, you have to deal with it yourself as players on the pitch, because you know your job at the start of the game might have been on the post, then it might have been in the space, then you might have to mark, but then at that it's all hands to the pump and you have to deal with it. And you have 8 Man United players looking at Belgrade as he's about to whip the ball in, and there's 3 Brighton players, João Pedro being one behind. That is criminal. That cannot happen, and now that's cost them today, ultimately.
Fair to say that both the goals, very poor for Man United to concede today.
Yeah, I think the second one obviously is much more glaring. I think the first one, you could do better. I think it's a very good ball first and foremost that puts you in a problem as a defender. I think Maguire could deal with the first ball in. But again, this game's been won. 3 crosses in the box, 3 goals. And I always think about this now. If I'm a manager, all I'm telling my players to do is get in those areas and cross that ball, because I don't think we're seeing defenders defend those positions as well as we would have maybe in the past.
Same vulnerabilities still there from last season.
I don't think the same vulnerabilities. I think Man United, I think today on the whole, I think that their performance was a lot more positive than I'd seen maybe at many times last season. I think there was a cohesiveness with and without the ball. And I just think that, again, one moment could have changed this game. Xerxes' moment when it hits him on the line and gets disallowed, and rightly so. I mean, that's if that goes in, the game's very different. But this isn't an if, buts and maybes game, is it?
Well, we've much more on that game, but we're not too far away as well from European football returning on TNT Sports, with the final teams scrapping for their place in this season's Champions League.
Just sorted that out, and brilliant to see him. So well.
And what a start.
It's fitness, but I think it seems to have sorted that out, and brilliant to see him doing so well.
And what a start for Fabian Herzler at the age of 31 in the Premier League.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better start. You go to Goodison Park, which any team seems to struggle at Goodison Park for whatever reason. They pick up a result there. They play against the Man United team at home. They pick up a result there. I think it's put them in the right place to pick up that momentum and pick up as many points as early as possible early in the season.
Have you seen, in the 2 Manchester United games so far this season, much difference to last season?
No, I haven't, no. But maybe that will come, but I haven't seen it. I think Man United's biggest issue last season was goal scoring. That still looks like it'd be a bit of an issue. Marcus isn't firing. Ahmad's got some moments, but still, he's a really young player. Striker position, obviously, Højlund is out. Xerxes, you need a guarantee at the top of the pitch. Bruno started he's our best player, playing as a number 10, and he's playing out of position as a striker. So I think goal scoring is a big thing. And if you look at the fixtures coming up, Liverpool Southampton away, Palace away, Tottenham, Villa, they're all tricky games. So the Fulham game, that could have been a draw as well. So they need to find something really quickly.
Do you think they create enough chances, though? I don't feel like, watching that game, I don't feel like from the wingers, they do enough to put enough chances in front of Xerxes or whoever may be that leading striker.
But again, it probably goes back to the striker. If Bruno can play as a 10, he'll create, won't he?
Yeah.
So obviously Marcus needs to do a little bit more. Ahmad needs to do a bit more. But if Bruno's playing up there, then, there needs to be a striker in there first.
I just feel like they don't, when they do get in those attacking thirds, they don't put enough people in the box. I think if you look at the chance that he had, I think when he goes to cross the ball in the first, I think it was Colby, there was nobody inside the 6-yard box. And then if you look at Brighton, even if they do get caught going the other way, they still have 3 or 4 options in and around that area for someone to be able to pick out a pass.
Yeah.
OK, let's get some Manchester United player reaction. Here's the goalkeeper, Andre Onana.
Andre, so close to coming away with a point here at the Amex. How tough is it to lose a game like that?
Well, it's difficult for us to accept, because we had a good game. We had more possession. I think we had more chances than them. Unfortunately, they disallowed our second goal, who was very important for us. But yeah, it's difficult, but we stay positive. We are big players, big club. It's the second game of the season, so a lot of big ambition this season. So we move on, and it's very positive.
Did it feel like those 2 goals you conceded were avoidable soft goals to concede?
Yeah, of course, maybe, but it's part of the game. It's football. Sometimes we make mistakes, and we came here to win. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but I will not talk about the mistakes because we win together, we lose together. So move on. Big game coming next week. We have to get ready and win next week.
You mentioned the positive start that you made. It did feel like it was a clean slate to start this season. So how much of a dent can a result like this make on the team?
I think it's, all it can be positive because through the difficult situation and through the tough time, the only thing to go through is to be together. So we'll look back, the action will see it, we will talk with each other, we'll look the videos, and this only gonna be positive for us because in the end of the day we are here to win and we have to look what we did wrong. So I have no doubt about that.
You mentioned already, big club, big ambition this season. What is the ambition?
To win everything. And to win everything. That's why we are here for. When you wear this shirt, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world, so you have to go for every trophy you face.
There's lots of new faces in the squad this season too, particularly defensively. How well do you feel like you're all gelling?
Well, for me it's good to have a lot of options. At the end of the day, we are man U players, so we have to adapt with each player. No? In the end, we have to be available for the mister and he make the decision.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, they lost 14 league games last.
A lot of ability he did, but when he scored the goal, by the way, I thought he was on the way to be taken off. It was him or Rashford at the time, and I think the goal gave him a reprieve. But he needs to affect the game continuously and just keep improving.
I think his all-round game is very, very clean. I just think it's the end product bit now. There was a big chance underneath us here in the first half where he should have probably gone with his head. Them moments there can really define or make or break you being a regular in the first team. And Man United, they want end product. And he's just got to keep trying to produce that. Today he got his goal and long may it continue.
And you thought you'd gone in front, Rio. Me and Joe were worried about your blood pressure at this point. Got a natural thought Man United had gone 2-1 up as well, but it didn't count. Xerxes just couldn't keep out of the way, Joe.
I mean, it's his counter-attack, you know, and the game was open at this stage. It's a lovely ball here from Bruno. And this is the intelligence bit. Bruno, you know, he's not got the pace, but he knows exactly where he's going to go. It's a lovely time ball. And we see it better from the other angle. Xerxes hits his knee. It's really unfortunate. But this is where he's just onside there. But if a striker, if Xerxes got a natural, he'll be gone already. He'll recognise Bruno's going to run in there, and he'd be 2 yards ahead. He'd slide that ball in himself. It'd be his goal, and he'd be the champion. And he gets himself. Listen, he can't do nothing about it. He's gone in to slide in. He can't get out of the way. He's trying to get out of the way. I felt for him when the goal celebrations were going on. He must have known. He must have known, and he's like, oh no. But
I was devastated because I was running around this studio and the fans beneath me, the Brighton fans.
You went too early,
Yeah,
Rio.
I went so early and then they hammered me after. But yeah, listen, it's unfortunate. And this is, again, these moments can change a game. The Man United had the momentum at that moment there. And the time it took for the decision to be made, and obviously disappointment then, I think then Brighton, that was the moment they kind of smelt a little bit of blood. Let's go and try and win this game.
So frustrating for Man United because it was such a good move, wasn't it? It's those fine margins, isn't it? Let's hear from the Man United boss now. Ten Hag is with Jules.
Way to lose a game in stoppage time like that?
Sure, very disappointing. Especially when you, over long parts in the game, you have control. And yeah, we are controlling the game in possession and we are doing so well. And yeah, we got 2 unnecessary goals, very avoidable.
Did it feel like they were quite soft goals to concede? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, that is our feeling. And we concede 2 soft goals where we should act better as a team.
What should the players have done in those situations then? What were you looking for?
So many things in that moment, and yeah, we have to talk and we have to be aligned in such moments, what to do, and that everyone knows the job, and as a team, and we protect our goal.
You said you liked parts of the performance. What were they?
I think there was, very good parts in the game. We had a lot of control in possession. We created good chances. We showed resilience. We came back and then we scored a winning goal, although we thought it was the winning goal. And then it's so bad luck that the ball is on the line, just before the line. It's touched by Xerxes, so that's a pity. You have to take this. So it's a disappointment, but I can take a lot of positives from that performance.
You mentioned Xerxes there. He came on at half-time for Mason Mount. Was that an injury or a tactical decision?
It was a decision. He had some problems and he had an issue, and so we know the history of Mason, so therefore we took him out. But I think also Joshua is coming better in. We are losing the game, and I think he had a good impact in the game.
Does it feel like the biggest difference, particularly when you look at the first half between the 2 teams, that they started with an out-and-out number 9 and you didn't obviously bring in Joshua on at half-time?
But I don't think also before half-time we created our chances and we had our good chances. So the best chance before halftime, and that was von Amat, and was after the cross of Diogo, and also after that Mason Mount had a very good chance. So I think we had before halftime we had 3-4, I think, good opportunities, and from there 2 very good chances, and we should go winning at halftime.
We talked earlier on about the early season optimism after your first win of the season last weekend. How much of a dent can a result like this make on the team?
We have to take the positives, but also we have to learn, and you can't drop points. It's so unnecessary. If you protect the goal like we do, and then you drop points. And football, top football is about details, as I say. So we have to do better in such occasions.